scandals.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, the dog show. Hey. You ready? The dog show with Nick and Joe. It's a beast. It's going down. It's off the chain. It's off the leash. I'm tuning in Friday every week. The dog show podcast. Yes, indeed. Hold up. Check out the podcast. Listen to it online. Giving you advice to help train your K9. Take your dog to the next level from the experts of obedience. The dog show, dog show. Guaranteed you're needing this. Ayy, Off the Leash K9 Training, Facebook and IG, and the site is so amazing. Yeah, the dog show with Nick and Joe. Hold up, the dog show with Nick and Joe. Ayy.
Alrighty, welcome to the dog show. Let's get into some show sponsors. We want to thank DemonABiteSuits.com, best bite suits on the planet. Check them out on Facebook and their website. Owner Chris Pelly, super good guy. Use discount code DOGSHOW for 10% off, I believe, your bite suits, custom bite suits. Also want to thank Whistle GPS collars. They are little tracking devices you put on your dog's flat collar, and they have an app. You can go on there and track them in real time if you were to ever kind of sneak out that backyard. And Nick, all of our trainers use them, correct?
They do.
That
it's
is correct.
Mandatory across Off Leash K9 that all trainers have a Whistle GPS collar on their dogs.
They are pretty solid. We also want to welcome a new show sponsor, Nature Script. Nature Script is a company that manufactures high-grade hemp products for all members of your household, including pets. Nature Script products are THC-free, providing benefits like better sleep, lower anxiety, and improved moods without unwanted side effects. Please use discount code DOGSHOW for 15% off all products. But wait, there's more.
Aw, shit.
They actually bumped that up to 20% off if you use discount code DOGSHOW on all products, including beef and chicken pet oils, available in 3 different concentrations. We will post the link on our Facebook page, on our Instagram account, and our personal accounts as well.
Power up request received. Initiating systems. Powering of transmitters. Live from OLK9 Studios in Virginia, they tell it like they see it. They educated the not so educated, and you'll laugh your ass off. Introducing The Dog Show with Nick and Joe, a podcast with knowledgeable info, rants, and absolute randomness. You're listening to the sounds of uncensored honesty from 2 of the most respected dog trainers in the industry. Live on Facebook every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. New episodes available for download every Saturday. The Dog Show with Nick and Joe. Download on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio.
And here we are. Welcome to The Dog Show, episode 32. And we have a couple of guests in the studio who's been here, obviously, several times. Mr. Cody Talent and Mr. Shawn Jacobs. Before we jump into things, guys, I want to give a shout out to my guy at Keybo on Keybo X on Instagram. That's KEYBEAUX. He is the man responsible behind our fire intros and outros. And then we want to give a shout out also, as Nick was just pointing out, to Illusion Wraps based out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. They are the ones who designed this masterpiece and put it up on the wall for us over Christmas break, and man, it's
popping.
It looks fucking
Table
great.
too, man. Table looks good.
And the table looks awesome.
I like this.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
Them portraits.
I like how Nick is in Joey's glasses.
That's deep.
That's a good
That's
point.
subliminal marketing.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. And then, but follow those guys on Illusions Wraps on Instagram.
Yes.
They're also on Facebook, and they have a website. And Brian's the owner. Very cool guy, and one of the most talented artists that I have ever worked with. I mean, this is all him. So thank you to those
And the
guys.
shop over there, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool shop.
Yeah. They always have arcade games in the lobby that they even wrap those, and they've wrapped our vehicles, Nick, and yeah. So anyhow, check those guys out. And again, once again, thank you to our show sponsors, Mr. Nick White.
Yep.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing amazing.
Good. How was your little Christmas break time? Slow time. I don't want to say time off.
Yeah,
'cause-
there's no such thing as that. Well, actually, I mean, I went to New York and shot some pretty epic dog training videos during my free time. We drove about 12 hours round trip to New York. Did some epic stuff with a golden retriever and a corgi that was in our board and train. If you guys haven't checked out those videos, definitely check them out because they're pretty absurd. I'll post the links in the comments. And I think that's really the only major thing that I did that I can think of.
And what do you got coming up? Anything?
Oh, I leave. I didn't think about this until today, actually. This morning I remembered I leave tomorrow morning.
Did you book a flight yet?
No, I did. Yeah,
Oh,
I just
okay.
forgot about it. So tomorrow morning I depart for Los Angeles. Super early flight. Like I depart at 7 a.m. So I gotta leave at like 4. I'm going out to Los Angeles. You guys, if you guys are familiar with NBA at all or basketball at all, I'm going to Los Angeles to train the dog of NBA upcoming superstar Josh Hart from the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a lot of people think he's like the next LeBron James. So I don't
He's
know.
good. He was drafted high. I know that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about basketball to know. I only really follow UFC. But yeah, I know in college he was super legit, like one of the best players in college, and plays for the Lakers. So I am going out to train his dog tomorrow morning. So I'll be out there for about a week and a half in LA. And then after that, I go down to Boca Raton, Florida to train UFC star Luke Rockhold's new dog, which is, it will be by then, a 5-month-old Aussie. So super excited about that. And that's about it. Other than that, normal.
I always feel like a loser when he starts talking about his like plans coming
Yeah,
up,
what do you got going
because then
on?
he,
What have you been
well, then he
doing?
fires back and he's like, "So Joe, what do you got going on?" I'm like, "Well, I may go to Kohl's tonight, get a new pair of pants." Yeah. So
But own that.
yeah, congratulations, Nick,
Thank you.
Dick, Cody,
What's
Cody
up?
Talent.
What's
What's up,
up?
buddy? How are you?
Doing well. How are y'all doing?
Good, man. What's going on in your life right now?
Let's see. The government's shut down.
It is.
Yes.
Partially. We should say that.
Yeah, partially. But it's so that affects things. But y'all know me.
Still the same old Cody.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost went there.
Training dogs, training off leash. I got my man Santa Claus to come down, help me train Buttercup.
That was awesome, by the way.
Out in DC. So having a lot of fun. Training off leash, being one of the tribesmen here. And
Yep. So that's something we haven't even brought
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
Yes,
Cody is
absolutely.
officially a trainer for Off Leash K9 headquarters, and you've trained a few dogs so
Yeah.
far and
Some good videos.
knocked them out of the
Yeah.
park, man.
Yeah.
That was I was pretty impressed with those videos, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I got a lot of help. Everybody, it's what's cool is even as taxing as that group thread that we're all on can be.
Yeah.
I still it is the ultimate cheat code because I can link up with anybody. Everybody has helped me. Danny Walker, Elise Kent, Ciara. I mean, the list go Tank, of course. It's been fun training because I'm so used to using prey and things and working with certain dogs.
Yeah.
So this has been super eye-opening.
From Malinois to Malamutes.
I fell in love.
Right?
That's nice. That flows.
Copyright it.
Yeah, but so I've been off leash training. I'm training a lot of law enforcement. I got a massive job opportunity right now to work with the highest elite. But I'm just letting that. I got to wait for that. And in the meantime, training police dogs, decoying. This year so far, I know it's only been 4 days. But I've been cleansing and hitting the gym every morning. And my goal this year in 2019 is to move faster in the suit, jump higher, twist my body more, react quicker, and be
better for the dogs.
Just be as athletic as I can possibly be, so that I can be a better trainer.
I respect the hell out of that.
Right on, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta better yourself to better the dogs, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mr. Shawn Jacobs,
What's up? What's up?
how are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. I've been here almost 2.5 years now. I actually just took my first vacation. I just came off a 2-week Christmas vacation, and good reset because 2019 is getting ready to go crazy with these videos. We got a lot of good new equipment, and I'm getting geared up for that.
Yeah, I'm
Literally and figuratively.
I'm glad. I'm really, really glad you brought that up, the video thing, because Nick White, I'm gonna give him a little plug here, and he only gets one a day from me. He knows that.
I feel like you owe me like 100 back pays then.
That's fair. That's fair. Check your email. So Nick is constantly innovating the pet world. Started with doing before-after videos. First company, pet training, dog training company that consistently put out before-after videos for board and trains. And then about 4 years ago, we stepped it up a little bit, right? We started doing those videos in pretty high distraction environments.
Yeah, like Times Square, Hollywood Boulevard, downtown DC.
Yeah, and the community, the dog community, really loved that. They really showed us the company a lot of love by sharing those videos, and so we kept doing it.
Yeah.
And now, all 138 of our locations are now pumping out video after video after video, and we are by far the largest dog training company with the most videos of the dogs that we train out there as a whole. I'm kind of curious because there's so many different YouTube channels for every location. I'm kind of curious what the overall count is at this point, because I know, like the main one has, I don't know, like
I think headquarters we're at like 7 million views just to our page alone.
So so I'd be very curious what that count is. Anyhow, so back in December, we decided to step it up, right? Well, Nick decided to step it up in a sense and innovate once again. So still putting out the same quality content, except, we invested in some equipment that is really giving the whole thing, the whole production, a better vibe, and it's almost telling a story now.
Yeah, it's like a movie almost.
Which I love,
It's a cinematic movie.
And they're all short, of course. They're all, 10 minutes, 12 minutes max.
Yeah.
Right? And so it can pretty much hold everyone's attention for the most part. But, man, we've put out some pretty quality videos in the last few weeks. When I say we, I mean the company. And, like, I'm blown away, man. Like, I really am. Like, at not just the production and all that, just the quality of the dog training. Like, that's one thing that I will never let somebody take from this company is these trainers put in the fucking time, man. There is no doubt about it. I have seen it, and I've done it, and it shows in the videos.
Yeah,
there's no smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, you can't shortcut.
It's a measurement. It's a measurement.
Just because we're editing doesn't mean we're editing the content, right? We're editing the transitions and the titles and the quality of the video. The content is still the same. And in order to get those dogs from 0 to hero in 14 days, there is no secret.
No.
Except time.
Yeah.
That's it.
You can't, as I always say, you can't fake a dog off leash healing in Times Square, New York on the weekend. They either can do it or they can't, and all the camera equipment and all the production editing in the world can't fake that. Essentially.
How good do the dogs have to be that you have the opportunity to pull out the cameras and be distracted while taking these videos, and your dogs are just holding their spots, man.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome for sure.
So yeah, I've raised our previous standard to a new standard of not only. It's still the same standard of the dogs, incredible, distractions, absurd stuff. But now, imagine the best, most impressive dog training videos with distractions, but like M. Night Shyamalan produced it. the
Shot
video.
by Michael Bay.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I've been,
We're not that good.
that's
but we will
but
be.
I will be. Yeah. It's like I always say, it's like will my videos ever look like Steven Spielberg did it?
Yeah.
Will it?
Probably not, but I can keep striving for that.
Love it.
So what the videos that you see now, I just posted one in the comments below. Check it out. The videos you see now, in a year from now, my goal is to make those videos look like crap. Like the videos now that everyone's like, holy shit, those are crazy, those are impressive, the best videos I've ever seen in the world of dog training. In a year from now, I want to be like, Joe, remember when we thought those videos were great? And now, you know what I mean? And now we laugh at them. Like that's my goal. So I may never be like a Steven Spielberg, but I can try to be.
And it's fun.
Yeah, I love
it's
it.
a lot of fun to do it. And Nick and I were talking about this, and I think you and Nick talked about this, Cody, is that to be an expert at something, most people don't realize that if you want to be an expert at dog training, okay, or maybe not, maybe expert's the wrong word, but maybe be elite in dog training in business.
Consistent.
You have to not only be consistent, but you have to be an expert in so much other shit.
Yeah.
To stand out, because everybody's training dogs, right? So if we just train dogs, then guess what? We're not, Off Leash isn't a household name. You know, it's
you're
just
competing
normal.
for attention. That's what people got to realize.
absolutely.
You're competing for people's attention. So
Everyone wants to influence everyone.
yeah. So what is it that why should you give me your attention versus him, or why should
Proof.
you give me
Proof.
So that's what people's got to realize. We're in a day and age now where you're competing for people's attention. So you got to do something to stand out from others, so that way you get those people's attention.
Yeah.
And that's
To stay relevant, you have to do real events.
deep.
Everybody's trying to be relevant. Everyone is. Everybody out there.
Yeah.
So what I've seen with these videos, what do these videos do? Do they inspire the culture? Do they measure the amount of effort, time,
Definitely measure
finesse?
effort.
Exactly.
100% measure effort.
Do they
yeah.
inspire the culture? Do you think people out there in the ether that watch these off-leash videos and they watch that, do you think it inspires them?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's
yeah.
Exactly. So I'm seeing a
I hope it inspires other trainers and dog owners.
Mm-hmm.
Other trainers say, wow, like I can do more and do cool stuff like that too. And then dog owners, because there's a lot of owners out there that are having issues with their German Shepherd or their Corgi or whatever their breed is, and they're thinking like, man, we may need to get rid of this dog, although we love this dog. And then they see that video of that Corgi that I just posted below, who went from crazy, spazzy, not listening, not doing anything, to now he's off-leash healing in Times Square, New York, and doing duration downs in the most distracted environment. So hopefully it inspires owners to say like, okay, like if that dog can do that, then maybe there's hope for my dog too. And then they take the action and reach out to someone, whether it's off-leash or just some other trainer that's unaffiliated, just take some action to make their lives better and that dog's life better. So hopefully it inspires a lot of people.
Because it's no longer, grind time is no longer about working 10, 12-hour days. It's going back to, I got to be an expert at 18 different things in order to compete.
Yeah, you're doing 100. We're doing these trainers. Everyone in this room, everyone's doing 100 other things. You're doing events for the SPCAs, the Humane Society. You're doing, events to progress, bite work with seminars with professionals in that field. And you're doing marketing. You're doing sales. You're doing
Videos,
everything.
commuting.
Everything. And once that video, the Corgi video with Tank.
Yeah.
Once Tank was done doing that video, then he had to go home and work with maybe another dog, work with his personal dogs, work on some marketing, working on some sales, work on his Facebook page. I mean, you're just not going out and doing these videos. It's like constant.
Could you guys imagine just doing 12 hours a day, just training dogs?
That'd be
part-time work.
That'd be ideal.
That's where I would love to get to.
Yeah, that's what I said. That'd be
that's the
ideal.
goal.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's the goal, is to have a workshop and just that dedicated to that. But that's not.
It's tough, man.
That's gonna be-
It's very competitive
Very
out there.
competitive industry we're in. Everybody's trying to gain clicks.
As
and
it
gain
should be,
views.
because
as it should be.
competitiveness is what brings out the best in everyone. I think.
Yeah, but
well,
here's-
it brings out bad in some people, but it should bring out. It depends on which way you look at it. You can, like Cody says, you can be inspired or you can be intimidated. If you're someone that's inspired by it, it brings out the best in you. If you're a person that chooses to be intimidated, it brings out the worst in you, and you're only going to go downhill from there. But I think the real, you know, the good trainers and stuff are inspired, just like I am, by a lot of people's work. I'm inspired by a lot of people's work, and I'm like, oh, that's really awesome. I need to improve on that, or I need to work on that. You know, I never look at it and be like, screw them, you know, fuck what they're doing.
That goes to their ego, but who's the greatest judge of whether you're a good dog trainer or not?
Yourself.
The
And
dog.
the dog.
The dogs will always.
And the reason I say yourself is, you know, one of my favorite quotes is I always say, you know, only you truly know if you gave 100% effort or
True.
not. No one else knows.
Right.
I can tell you, like, dude, I gave 100% effort on that dog, but at the end of the day, you are the only one that genuinely knows.
Yeah.
So only you can truly gauge your effort that you put in. And that's one thing, you know, I just had a meeting with my trainers recently, and I said, you know, as long as you guys, when you go to bed at night, when you look in the mirror, if you can look in the mirror and you can say, I gave 100%. I couldn't have done a better job with that dog. I couldn't have done a better video with that dog. And I gave it all I had. If you can go to bed at night and say that, then you should go to bed feeling great about yourself. And if you can't say that, if you can say, you know, it was a tough dog, I could have put in more time, I could have done something else, then you need to learn from that. But, you know, and this is 100% true, is every seminar I've ever done, every 5-day seminar I've ever done, I can 100% say, I can honestly tell myself I couldn't have done a better job in the time I had. I gave it 100%. I made the most incredible video I've ever had. And I feel like if every trainer can say that about every dog they train, then they should go to bed feeling good about themselves. And to even get a little bit deeper is maybe you didn't even get the desired end goal with that dog. Like maybe the dog wasn't like, man, this was a really tough dog. He had aggression or whatever. He had a bunch of issues. And you didn't get to your desired end goal. To me, as long as you can still say, like, I gave it as best as I could, I got this dog as far as I could, I progressed him, and there's nothing I could have done different to make it better, that's all that really matters. You know you gave it 100%. So I'm really big on self-critique and self-judging, because only you know.
That makes sense. And I agree with you about the competition. Competition keeps all of us hungry, and it's great. And it's good for dogs, and it's good for dog owners. The only problem I have, guys, with that is when our quote-unquote competition is in the business for the wrong reasons, right? I've seen a lot of companies popping up here, and they're openly talking about how they literally just got into pet training for the money, and that worries me. That worries me for the dogs, and it worries me for the owners. Are you guys seeing an influx in that, or is it just something that's on my feed, or?
You know, and I don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But if I'm just not aware of that because I choose myself. I'm so blinded and focused on how this company navigates and what they do and how they're separated that, yeah, I mean, you can see how these, but good luck. I mean, like it's a competitive jungle, and it's in that kind of environment, it's eat or be eaten. There's a standard that I think that you guys have set, that we all have set, that Nick has created, and it's a formula. And now that standard is set at such a level that the rest of the world is going to look at. They can now for the rest of history, or for however long this internet's going to work, people can say Google dog training, and they can now compare. They can watch a bunch of off-leash training videos to see what formula is coming out of that company, and then they can compare it to somebody who just popped up and they're showing, and it's like you can measure really quickly where someone has experience and where someone doesn't, where someone's professional, where someone is in it for maybe the wrong reasons. It's a beautiful thing that we have, which this company has done a great job of displaying their performance. And so it's like, if somebody wants to pop up, well, here's the bar.
Yeah.
Here's the bar. So it's been set at this. So you're going to look at your own training, you're going to look at someone else's training, and then you're going to look back at your training, and you have choices now, whether you're either going to be inspired by that training and get better yourself and use it as a cheat code, or you are going to do this thing that humans do within dog training because we're so passionate and we're all experts and we all know what's right everybody else is wrong is we're going to say that's wrong, that's flashy, that's not, that's a charlatan, don't follow that, don't be influenced by that, be influenced by I'm the real dog trainer, I know what's real. It's like we're the wrong species to ever say that we know exactly what a dog is thinking.
I agree.
Yeah. And like you said before, you just got cleared and you're a trainer now for headquarters and doing your thing, and you've picked up and learned from all the names that you dropped there. And that's my thing is we have a video for every breed, every color of dog.
Yes.
And it's unfair
Preach.
Almost because, we got a video for everything. And it didn't
dog.
happen in a couple months. It's
Yeah.
How old is the company?
9 years.
9 years. 9 years worth of content.
So think about how many lives have been saved because of this passion. But the thing is gentlemen, there's a bar that's been set. Whether it's the elephant in the room that is anybody gonna like say, hey, there's a bar that's set? Like, is it okay if there's a food chain in this fucking industry? And that
Well, the working dog world has a food chain, so why can't there be one in the
there's
pet,
a food
pet
chain in
side?
anything that's competitive where people are competing for money. There's food chains.
So, like, if pet trainers, here's a great example, if pet trainers go into the working dog side, even if it's just for fun, and they throw up a decoying video, it's getting criticized by every fucking working dog trainer out there.
Absolutely.
But when a working dog trainer goes to, and I'm not calling, it's not all of them, but there's a few of them.
I'm one of them.
When they put out a pet training video,
Jacob Robinson.
you don't see pet trainers blowing up their shit going, hey, why is that dog taking so long to sit on place? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me,
there's a double standard.
There's definitely a double standard. Like, I don't understand that.
I think that we, in my opinion, is we go into that decoy. I know I did because I thought it was cool as shit. It had nothing to do with money whatsoever.
No, fuck no.
I just thought it was fucking cool.
Yeah.
The tracking, the trailing, all of it. It's cool, and so I'm gonna step out of my lane a little bit to learn something extra just because it's cool, not because anything to do with money or anything else. And I think that's the biggest difference is we think it's cool as shit. I'm not necessarily saying they don't think pet dog training is cool, but I just think it's a different
different
get out of our
mentality.
lane for different reasons.
Yeah, pet trainers get out of their lanes like, this is cool, I want to learn something new, and a lot of working dog people get into pet dog training. It's like,
So why are
working
we-
dog doesn't pay any money, so I need to do something else.
So why are pet trainers so heavily criticized when they're posting, videos of their, them decoying or learning the sport?
Because
or
in the working dog world, there's a lot of purists, and they don't want to see change. They don't want to see that. They don't want to swallow the fact that certain, and I speak passionately about this, and I'm a decoy. There's no doubt about that. That is something that I take extremely serious. And when I see a pet trainer, if they are athletic and they have certain nerves and they can read dogs and they're good and they get out on a field within 3 weeks and they're actually have got finesse, then I would never, it would be so wrong to say you haven't been in this long enough and you're not. It's like, I don't get to do that and no one gets to do that. The dogs get to make that decision. If you have fluid movements and nerves and you can manipulate a dog, regardless, we're all teachers. We're all teaching sit, we're all teaching find explosives, we're all teaching lay down, we're teaching so many different varieties of things. We're all teachers, and it's like, how do you measure one teacher to the other in different applications? But if you're good with dogs, the dogs will tell you, and you should pursue that. And the purists need to understand that there's a revolution and there's a renaissance within our industry. We're watching it happen right now, and you're going to have to swallow the fact that you've spent your whole life and you're now watching it. People do what you did so passionately, and they're changing it and they're evolving it, and they're letting the dogs be more the judge to that. And it's gonna hurt.
Well, people hate change and evolution.
It's gonna hurt your feelings a little bit to watch something that you're so passionate about evolve and change where you thought
it should be.
Where you thought like, no, it can only be like this, and it's like that's not what happens with anything. Everything evolves.
If you guys research at all, Henry Ford Manufacturing, the CEO, started it, built the Model T, all that. Literally, when he came out with the car, he took an absurd amount of criticism. people were saying like, oh, it's stupid, it's a waste of money, it's too expensive, no one's going to use those, only rich people can afford it. Like, pretty much it was like 80% criticism. And to the guy that fucking invented the car.
Did he let but he was like,
because the horse had worked amazing for our entire life history. So he came along and said, hey, I think there's a better way. I think there's a new way. I think there's a faster way. And he revolutionized an industry, and the industry hated on him, for lack of a better word. I don't know if they used that term back then in the 30s.
Do you think the people that, do you think that they genuinely were like, he's crazy? Or, I mean, when he started actually making that thing, how many people got jealous of that dude?
Oh, everyone.
Everybody was just like, you know, they were like, oh, that sounds, you know, it's, jealousy is actually, like, I'll drop it right now. Jealousy is a huge disease.
Jealousy is the enemy of success.
It is a massive disease in our industry because people measure themselves against everybody else. We're always measuring. We see somebody do something, and then we look at ourselves, and then we look at them, and it's like, you are so afraid.
And you should just get pissed off at yourself, right?
Yeah,
you're so but you're so afraid of somebody else influencing what you consider territorial. Like, oh, this is my industry. I'm the person for this industry. So if somebody else influences it, I have two choices. I can be jealous about that, or I can say, you know what, I'm not as expert as I really think I am. Maybe I could dabble and learn a little bit in that.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it goes back to 9 years of every type of dog. You know, it's, what types of dogs do you see as a decoy?
A lot of Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherds, German Shepherds.
Like 5 or 6 breeds.
Right.
You know,
really,
hybrids, Dobermans, you know.
Like 5, like Nick said, like 5 or 6. So, you know, and that's what I think it comes down to is I don't feel bad for the people that are trying to change over. It's going to suck. It's going to suck.
Well, 100%. And let me go on the official record and say that by no means does Off Leash consider themselves the standard of the pet training industry. We welcome new competition. We want the new competition because we want to be hungry, right? Yeah. I just don't welcome it if it's in for the wrong reasons. And if you're in for the wrong reasons and you're criticizing pet trainers for just having fun on your side of the industry, I'm calling you out this year. It's happening.
Right.
We'll do it.
You know, if they're going to continuously call out, and I haven't personally been called out, although I probably should have on a video or two, but I've seen it, and it. At first, I didn't let it bother me, and then I kept seeing it, and I'm like, hold on here, like. Nobody's calling out your shitty videos of pets that you're putting out, so now I'm going to do it.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to get petty. I'm going to get petty.
Get petty.
Petty in the pet world.
All right, it's a new year, guys.
New year, 2019.
Do we have resolutions?
Of course.
Nick, I know you're not big on resolutions, right?
No, I never have a resolution because I try to continue to improve on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, so I don't set a goal for myself for the next year. I set a goal for myself on an ongoing basis. So, I don't have any. Keep doing what I've been doing.
That's fair. Cody.
Definitely fitness is always a big part of.
So you're a supporter of New Year resolutions.
100%.
And I mean, just so you know, I'm not a New Year's resolution hater. I just say
Nick has earned his right to have his opinion on anything. So it's like this is the dog show. This is an okay place to disagree on certain things because I love that. I would hate it if we all thought the same.
Yeah,
I would hate that. I'd be like, come on, can you stop? You know. So, but for me personally, I love New Year's because my psychology. I say, okay, reset. It's a new year, so it's like I get to measure. Every day that I do a certain amount of push-ups, that I do a certain amount of squats, run, treat my body. I'm 35 years old, but my obsession is to be extremely fast, extremely athletic, extremely acrobatic. I'm obsessed with that. So that all depends on what I put in my body, what music I listen to, how I, dictate my life, what decisions I make, the fitness, being able to run really far and fast in a suit, deal with all the chaos that I'm obsessed with. So be a better Cody Talent, be a better trainer, be a better decoy, and not listen to static, because the static out there just wants to knock me out of my confidence. And the best I've ever been is when I was confident. So
yeah, I mean, that's, as Joe knows, you know, that's one thing that I'm incredible at, is not giving a shit what anyone else thinks.
Right.
And I think if everyone was better about that, and not just in the pet world, not just in the world of dog training, but just in general, whether you work as a cashier, or whether you work at a bank or a nurse, or whatever you do, stay-at-home mom, you know, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be people that don't like you for one reason or another, that disagrees with the way you do things, disagrees with the way you parent, that disagrees with, you know, the way that your cleaning system at a house is, because they've done it the way for 30 years. There's always going to be people that disagree with everything, and you should just not give a shit. That,
right.
Like, I've truly found that that's the best way to live, is if you know for a fact that you're doing the best job as you can, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Secure.
Yeah, as long as you know you're doing the best you can, and as long as you can genuinely and honestly tell yourself that, and you know that it's true, it shouldn't matter what anyone thinks. What another someone's like, oh, this person, you know, hates you. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, at least they're thinking about me, because I've never thought about them.
Right.
So clearly, good for me. You're in my mind, or yeah, I'm in your mind, but you've never been in mine. So obviously, I'm doing something better than you. So yeah, I mean, that would be my advice to everyone out there listening, is especially on social media. It's so easy on social media to get worked. You guys will literally never, on the Off Leash K9 Facebook page or any of that, you'll literally never see me like getting into a back and forth with other trainers, or saying, oh, you know, your videos suck compared to mine, or you'll literally, you can't find that, just because I don't care. And that's why I'm so happy. That's why I'm one of that, like, ask Joe. Joe Zitzelberger is with me probably more than anyone in my life's ever been with me. And he will tell you, I'm always happy. I'm always in a good mood. And Shawn, you're with me a lot, right? I'm always happy. I comment, what's up, guys? You're never like, oh, Nick's in a bad mood. Leave him alone today. You know what I mean? When have you ever...
Yeah. He always shows up with cupcakes. How can you be in a bad mood if you're
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't,
Good point.
You don't have to measure
Good
your
point.
reproductive organ, because you know how big it is.
Yeah. But it's true. And I contribute a lot of that happiness in my life to only worrying about myself, to not giving a shit what anyone else thinks in dog training or outside of dog training, to worry about yourself. And I feel like, you know, people's like, oh, Beyonce, Kanye West said, I'm like, why do you give a shit? Like, well, they're afraid. How does this impact your life at all? Like, worry about you.
Why. I will tell you why. You are influencing something that they feel is theirs. People get territorial over dog training and over influence, and they see someone who's successful, who's created a formula, who is gaining a lot of influence and business, and that makes people intimidated. So they now have to knock you off your confidence, because their biggest nightmare is your success.
Oh, I mean, well, hopefully they get a refund on that concept then, because that hasn't worked for them. But yeah, so that'd be my advice to everyone, is just like, do you. Don't, you know, if someone's like, oh, Cody, I watched your video, you're flashy, I think you're shit, you couldn't catch a dog to save your life, like, who cares? You know,
well,
like,
my thing is
and so many people that get worked up and get in these back and forth battles, especially in the world of dog training. I'm like, why do you care? Like, why do you care?
Those are opinions.
Is like, with the way I look at it, I always laugh with Joe. I'm like, why do I care if this trainer doesn't like me? Does that mean this trainer isn't going to sign up his dog for my 2-week board and train? Is that the downside to this? Like, so yeah, that'd be my advice to everyone, is just, for 2019, everyone, their New Year's resolution should be to not give a shit what anyone else thinks. Do you focus on your happiness, whatever that means, health, wealth, you know, well-being, like spiritual, whatever, and just do you, and not, don't let yourself get worked up in these back and forth Facebook battles and social media and he said, she said, and I promise you, your lives will be at least 50% happier because of it. And that's why I'm so happy all the time, is I only worry about myself, and I don't get wrapped up in those petty, shitty back and forth things on social media or in person, just because I don't care. You think I'm shitty? Okay, cool. I think you're shitty too. Great. Now we move on.
You know what? I want to give you a shout out. I follow a handful of stuff like everybody else. Not a whole lot of bite work, but before I even really met you, I was following you because these guys knew you. You got a lot of decoy videos. A lot of decoy videos. A lot of cool ass decoy videos.
Possibly the most.
Possibly the most.
It's very. I'm. I hate to cut you off, but I just. I want to underline, and I have been wanting to kind of.
Because I don't see videos like that.
I don't get on a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of talking going on in the dog industry these days. A lot of podcasts and opinions and talking. I have recorded every time that I've ever. Well, not every time, but there's a lot of recordings of reps, and every video I have since I started this journey, since I got into this kung fu,
with some kung fu music in the background.
Yeah,
always.
But I've always shown how I am using my own system that I guess I've created with prey to create a lethal animal that strikes, and its first move is its finishing move, and you can see that I think over 1,000 times within all the videos. I got guys that tell me they study all my content, and so just like this company, I have saturated. I've never gone live or held my phone up to me and say, hey, it's Cody Talent hustling, grinding hard, you'll just see me on a field doing the same thing over and over and over again with different dogs for probably the first time. And
your own dogs.
And my own dog, any dog. It's, to me, it's a weapon, and I've figured out a way to build it to where it's so applicable for certain applications. So it's so, and I get a lot of fucking hate.
Which means you were having fun because you wanted to make the video.
I also feel like that means you're doing well.
Yeah.
If you're getting hate, you're doing something fucking right.
My thing is nobody wants to do, what I would love is if people, what scares me is an extremely, when I say scare me, it's something that I would also love and encourage, but what scares me is an extremely athletic decoy, because I know I'm 35 years old, and I know that my body is, but I still have so much, but what I'm doing as a trainer, and what you see in my videos is you see someone moving with weight on them in a suit, but moving probably faster, stronger sometimes than a person that's not wearing a suit, and jumping and doing stunts and getting into tight spaces, working in dark, all kinds of surfaces, but getting the same reaction every time, which is a reflex on a predatory weapon animal. And
you told me something. I'm gonna cut you off because you cut me off.
Yeah.
You told me something one time and it resonates with me crazy. You said I gotta be able to do the same thing that a crackhead can do in pajamas in my bite suit.
Absolutely. 100%.
Respect that.
Respect that.
Yeah, I have to. Anything that a drugged out, erratic moving, you can't predict. I've got to teach dogs how to see that, gauge it at distance, go over things, through things, underneath things, and hit it one time so hard that it drops it, and then follow it up with combos. And I've done that, and there's a bunch of videos, like probably the most, of me doing exactly that. Yep. And it just gets stronger and stronger each time. And now I'm to the point where I'm training other individuals. Yeah. And they use my videos. They study my videos. You can go on my Facebook and just watch.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you can just watch videos, and it's like, because of doing that, a lot of people, I think, in the industry, they look at it and they're like, I don't want to do that. If he's raising that standard and police are starting to ask for that specific kind of work, they're going to be like, I don't want to swallow and say, yeah, that's good work and I should try to do that. They're going to be like, that's wrong. That's flashy. That's not the right way. I'm an expert. This is the right way. When in all reality, the dog is who decides whether it's right or wrong. Yep. And the operation. So
generally, I think me and Joe talked about this, to add on that a little, and this is what people need to realize, like, if anyone has like haters in their lives, whatever, is people always hate up. Like, think about that. Like, people hate.
Talked about that yesterday.
Yeah. People always hate up, and as soon as people wrap their minds around this concept, they won't respond and get in these battles, and they'll be happier people because of it. A lot of people get all worked up, where I don't. I actually feel the opposite. I feel bad for the people, because I'm like, oh, you're hating up. Like, when someone is hating on you in any field, it's because you are where they wish they were.
Mm-hmm. You represent.
Yeah, you've never seen. I promise you guys, if you don't believe me, everyone's on Facebook right now. Go to Bill Gates' Facebook page and screenshot one post where he's talking shit about Mike's Computer Repair Company in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and how Mike Smith, the shop owner,
he probably helps Mike out,
and the shop owner, Mike Smith, how he builds shitty computers and how Microsoft computers are way better than his. Like you never see Warren Buffett like, oh, look at this guy in New York who thinks he's a stock trader. I've made more in one day than he's made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you never see people on the top hating down. No. So people always hate upward. So what I've come to realize in many fields when I was in the Marines, the Secret Service, dog training, is people hate up. So if someone's hating on you, you have to see that, well, I'm just where they want to be. And instead of being inspired by that, they're being intimidated by it, as Cody says. And once you realize that, like, it makes the what's the word? Like, it makes your vengeance, like, oh, I'm going to respond back to them, or I'm going to show them. It makes that go away because you just see, like, I'm just where they want to be and they don't know how to handle that. So this is their response to that. Instead of improving themselves and instead of improving their business and instead of improving their product, instead of improving all these things, they're just using this as the outlet, essentially. And you can apply that in any field, in every field. I've seen it. I saw it in the Marines. I saw it in the Secret. I mean, you see it everywhere. So as soon as people realize that your life becomes better and you get happier and you stop responding to those people and you get those people out of your life, you know, like Joe Rogan always talks about, negative people are a cancer to be around and they'll rob you of your enthusiasm. And as soon as people realize that and start surrounding themselves with people that are inspired or inspiring to you, that's when you get better and you bring up everyone around you. Where those negative people who's always hating and talking shit and being negative, they bring down all the people around them, and those are the people you need to get out of your lives. And you know, like Gary Vee talks about, one of my favorite things, he says you need to constantly audit the people around you and say, does these people make my life better or do these people make my life worse? And what you need to do every year is you need to replace one of your loser friends, one of your negative, shitty, loser friends, replace them with a positive winning friend. And if you do that every year for the next 2 years, your inner circle is going to be such motivated, inspiring, passionate people that you're going to do better, which means in turn all those people are going to do better, which in turn makes you better. And it just starts this vicious cycle of everyone leveling up and doing better. But when you surround yourself with negative, shitty people, it has the opposite effect. You know, it's like the saying, surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll become number 6. People don't realize that shit works in reverse. Surround yourself with 5 negative, cancerous, cynical people, you're going to become number 6 too. And everyone has someone in their life that they can probably identify with that. So that's my advice, is get those shitty people out of your life, and when someone's hating, acknowledge that they're psychologically acknowledging that you're doing better than them, and that's their outlet for that. And get those people out of your life and replace them with a winner friend that inspires you and motivates you and wants to help you. And so that's hopefully that helps.
Joe Rogan will call those the I can't catch a break people.
Yeah.
Get me away from those guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah. Group therapy with Nick and Joe brought to you every Friday at noon.
That's right.
I am available for private consult.
Sean, New Year resolutions.
Just be better all around. My biggest thing is I want to get as many trainers as I can get together every single day.
That's awesome,
shout out to Joey and Kelly. You know, they hooked us up with some serious ass Christmas gifts. Everybody got an Osmo Pocket, and everybody is fired up and ready to do videos. Nick is pushing these competitions, giving awesome prizes that just everybody's so hyped right now about this, and I'm just excited to get 2019 started, get the trainers, no matter where we are, I don't care. I just want as many people as we can. I think there was 6 or 7 trainers, probably 7, 8 dogs downtown yesterday. We had a blast.
Yeah, it was
absolutely awesome.
It was cool seeing the pictures and the
only thing
videos.
that wasn't cool was Danny has a one wheel and he would not get it out of the van. He waited till everybody left, then he got it out.
Probably because
he's afraid to fall down.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably because he doesn't want to see you guys to see it. So that's your New Year resolution.
Better all the way around. Just be as best dog trainer as I can be, and get
cool.
everybody else.
That's a good one, man. And I'm actually a fan of New Year resolutions as well. I usually do quite a few because I realize that odds are I'm not going to follow through half of them. So so I do quite a few. That way I feel like it's a win at the end of the year. This year I didn't make too many, man. I had a really good year last year, and I'd just like to continue that. I am going to be a little extra petty in 2019. Yeah, other than that, I'm just going to call, I'm going to call it the way I see it. Oh, and one more thing. I am not going to vouch for trainers I haven't seen train anymore. That's just a personal thing that I have vouched for a few trainers. I just have never seen them train. So I feel like it's not fair to the potential clients that they get if they hear this podcast and I'm vouching for them without ever seeing them
their work.
Well,
So
the good thing about it is that we have 10 million videos on YouTube, so
Yeah.
you can get those trainers out.
It's measurable.
So other than that, man, it's going to be hopefully another kick-ass year for the company, for the dog show. We got a lot of new sponsors reaching out early this year. So essentially in the last 3 days, went to sponsor the show. But as most people know who listen on the regular basis, we will only accept sponsors that we personally vouch for. So if you're a company and you reach out to us and you don't hear back, it's probably because we're not a believer in your product.
Yeah.
And we won't have you on here. So no, nothing personal, no offense, but it is what it is, right? Yeah. That's one thing we agreed on when we first started this show, and we're sticking to it, right, Nick?
Yep.
And we do have some big things coming up in the dog show. Nick and I still have to figure out a date. Both the Prince William Humane Society director and Fredericksburg SPCA director have both reached out to me in the last 48 hours. For those that didn't see last episode, number 31, I believe, 30 or 31, they were both here. That was an awesome episode. Go back and give that one a listen. But we discussed doing a 24-hour telethon to raise money for those. Awesome. So the dog show, we're going to be in here for 24 hours. We're going to have guests cycling in and out for 24 hours. And we're going to have a team, hopefully, that's answering phones and collecting money to go to these organizations. Awesome. You know, kind of like back in the day when Jerry Lewis used to do his thing, and memories that I have as a kid watching that. So we're going to bring it back, man.
That's awesome.
So it'll be challenging for sure.
Evolution, Renaissance.
And then we have a bunch of guests lined up, man. We have
a bunch of cool guests.
Very cool guests coming up. So we're going to kind of keep that a surprise. But you'll see the flyers coming out. We're going to try to get shows done once every couple of weeks. We always shoot for once a week, but with travel and all that stuff, it's very difficult for us to align our schedules, but we are going to keep it going. Any other topics you guys wanted to touch on today? And I mean, I know this was kind of a freestyle episode, as several of them are. But I wanted to see if you guys had anything that maybe you thought about over your short time off over the holidays that, you know, makes you happy, bugs you, makes you think.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, what makes me happy is genuinely not giving a shit what people think. So
that's fair.
I think.
But one thing I will say about that is there are a lot of people out there who say that they don't give a shit what people think. But there's a very, very small percentage of people that actually don't give a shit what people think. I do believe you're one of them.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
But there is a large percentage of people.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as just saying I don't give a shit what people think about me, because if you say that, but yet you are still going back and arguing back and forth.
Yeah, which you don't see me doing.
Over something, you know, not related to what you do, then you really do give a shit what people think. And that's okay. Like, that's my thing. Like, if
just know that your life's going to be worse because of it.
I agree with that.
So it's okay.
I agree with that.
But it's okay, but your quality of life is going to decrease.
I do agree with that.
So as long as you accept that trade-off.
Yep. But yeah, just don't be that guy that says, you know, nonstop, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
And don't let it consume you.
And then most of those people do, though. That's the problem. Yeah. So
they let it, consume them, and then it starts eating away their happiness. And
that's why it's important to be, like, I think confidence and arrogance gets misinterpreted.
Yeah, confidence and cockiness.
Yeah. Because it's like, to battle insecurity, know your worth. But it's hard when a lot of people, like, if you're being influenced that you're not worthy, but you know that you are.
Well,
so
I can assure you, Bill Gates doesn't lose sleep overnight because Mike Smith in Fredericksburg thinks that Microsoft has shitty computers.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I assure you, he's not tossing and turning over at night because someone commented on his post about the new release of a Microsoft computer, and someone said it sucks and I'll never use Microsoft.
What do you think does make him toss and turn at night?
Changing the world, revolutionizing the world.
Man, he donates a lot of fucking money, man.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Because he has.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize is once you're at that level, what keeps you up at night, what your passion is, what motivates you, what inspires you is literally changing the world. And not through your business, not through your products, but through other means, like bringing running water to a village in Africa that in world history has never had running water. Like, that's what inspires and motivates and keeps them tossing and turning at night. Eradicating malaria.
Because they have the power to do it.
Yeah, they have the means.
They have the ability to, and that's what keeps them. Like, they could care less about what somebody. It doesn't matter what somebody says.
It's like you think my computer sucks. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I just eliminated malaria in the world.
It just means that someone has an opinion.
I eliminated malaria in the world, and you eliminated a box of Hot Pockets from your parents' basement an hour ago. Like, and that's why I said, like, people that are genuinely doing shit in the world don't care because they know while you're focusing on them, they're focusing on more important things. You know, and that's me and Joe. I always say one of my favorite quotes is, I love like haters in the world of dog trainings. I'm like, while you're focusing on me, I'm focusing on me too. And no one is focusing on you or your business, including yourself, because you're worried about mine. So that's the way I look at things. It's like, well, while you're worried about me, I'm worried about me as well. So now we have two people focusing on me, and no one is focusing on you. So yeah, Bill Gates, like none of those people care what you think, and they shouldn't. Yeah. You know, like who's to tell Warren Buffett doesn't give a shit what you think, you know, and he shouldn't care. Like, that's what people and
does that make him cocky?
No, and not just at like
arrogant,
and not just at like a billionaire level. I mean, I could say that about anyone. You know, I could say that, like I said, the teller at Bank of America, they shouldn't care what you think, as long as they're working on themselves and they're trying to improve themselves and they're trying to create their best life and they're trying to help other. Like, they shouldn't care what you think.
Yeah, but we live.
You would like to think they care what you think, but they shouldn't.
But we live so. The dark black mirror of technology and how it affects us humans psychologically is, if you look at social media, it's now created this place that we do, like, not everybody, but we do care what people think. Otherwise we wouldn't display all these things. We're constantly trying to seek approval from everyone else, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's why we do things. We're constant, because in turn it's like, you know, approve me so that I can approve myself, and we're
approve me so I can approve myself.
We're encouraged to consistently share things about our life or what we wish our life was like, to seek approval, and then in there it builds this confidence
in yourself.
And then you get to the point where, like, now I'm strong. I know I'm strong, but it's like there's this balance of how much do I have to prove to everyone, to myself, and then at what point does it not matter, this ether, this obligatory, like, sensation to approve?
Well, I mean, this is getting deeper than I wanted it to, but I think, like, social media, like, if you notice, like, suicide rates, depression, like, in the last 10 years, we've seen, like, that's been, like, an epidemic, like, depression, suicide, all these celebrities, like, all that. And I genuinely think that social media has a lot to do with that.
So has it actually has the rates actually gone up, or is it just more we know more about it because of social media?
I'm sure we could easily Google it. I would be willing to bet it's gone up,
yeah.
Though. I mean, I'll Google it really quick when you guys just keep talking.
Yeah, it could simply just be that social media were like politics, for example. Let's when we were kids growing up, we didn't give a shit about politics. We
couldn't understand it.
Most of us didn't even know what the difference between Democrats and Republicans were, right? Mm-hmm. Now all the kids know. And how? It's not because
you're absolutely
Twitter.
Right.
It's social media.
But when you
kids
say
are getting involved with politics
right.
because of social media.
But that information that they're getting involved with, how much of that information is, like, how do we interpret if it's good or bad or right or wrong? It's all opinions, because there's no news network that's giving out the facts.
I think that's what makes this a great country, though, is that we have the freedom to have whatever fucking thought we want on what's right and what's wrong, you know? Yeah. And that is an opinion.
Influenced.
Yeah, that's.
So-
I was
so-
actually going to go that
All right,
route
all right,
with
I'll
social
set up.
media.
So
but-
over the last 10 years, and the last 10 years alone, depression has doubled from 6.6% to 12.7% in the last 10 years.
Because everyone is in everyone's.
So it's
You could
essentially
also,
it's
you could also contribute some of those stats to social media.
Oh, I contribute
Yeah.
a lot of it. So it's literally doubled in the
Yeah,
last 10
so
years. So
you're
it's
right.
very
Yeah.
significant. And I contribute a lot of that social media. And kind of to add on to what Cody was saying is everyone's constantly comparing and contrasting their lives to other people's lives on social media. Like you see like, oh, Nick's on his way to LA to do this and he's doing this and doing this. Like, I wish my life was like that. And meanwhile, I'm following this person and saying, man, this guy's flying in a private jet and he's doing this. And man, I wish my life was like that. And meanwhile, that guy said, and everyone's comparing and contrasting themselves to other people when people need to learn that social media is fake. It's not real. So what?
fake,
It's
dude.
so fake. You're seeing, like as Gary Vee talked about, you're seeing that person's highlight reel. So know that when you're comparing yourself to that friend on social media that you're kind of envious of, you're comparing yourself to the absolute best in his life.
Or it could be used as a highlight reel, which I believe you. I agree with you.
Yeah. It's 100%
Majority
is.
of the time is. Or it's a soap opera for someone's life because they put all of their problems out there because they want the attention. They want the feedback. That's the problem I have with social media and like today's technology.
It's one extreme or the other.
It is one extreme
Yeah.
or the other, but it's so like all of us are so like influenced by it and we don't even realize it. Like we were having a conversation yesterday, and I don't know if there's anything to this. Maybe you guys have noticed the same thing. Kelly and I will be in the house, and we'll just be talking about something, and she'll say, "Oh yeah, that new Instapot that cooks your dinner is really cool." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll check it out sometime." Well, I don't even have to fucking Google it anymore because as soon as I log into Facebook, there's
see
an
the ad.
advertisement
Yeah.
for it right there. Like, get out of my house. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? So that scares me a bit. I'm not going to lie. And I do believe there's something behind that because it's happened way too many times.
Of course.
That scares me a little bit. And another thing, Cody and I have had this conversation, and I'm not going to stay on this too long, but the cell phone, right? So the cell phone's been popular for, 10 years now? Now it's in everybody's hand.
Yeah.
If
10-year-olds,
you're 5 years old and up, you have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And not only do you have a cell phone, but you look at this more than you look at anything else.
Other people even.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And which is sad. But here's the problem with that is we have no clue
The effect.
what doing this does to us. Like, we're still alive. That's cool. But what if the 15-year mark is the mark that if you stare at this screen for 15 years, so many hours a day, you just die.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no. We are the guinea pig generation for this technology. That scares the fuck out of me. Not so much for me, but for my kids. Right. Because I have no
Because
idea.
they're starting at like 7.
Yeah, I have no clue what it's going to do to them long term, and nobody else does because we haven't been able to test it.
I think what's happening, and I've already seen it, is people, which I think the depression, school shootings, all those things are an effect of this, is people, especially kids, are losing interpersonal communication skills because of cell phones, social media.
Yes.
I mean, before, if I wanted to see Shawn, I'm like, hey, Shawn, let's meet up, dude. Let's go do dinner. Let's hang out, meet over with some friends. And now I just Facebook message him instead.
Yeah.
Now I just text him instead. Now I just FaceTime. And we're losing social interaction with people on a very large scale basis because social media. Now, before, if you wanted to see your parents, you had to fly out and see them. Now you send them a text. Before, if I wanted to talk to Cody, I had to get personal and actually take an hour to write him a letter, and then he gets a tangible letter and he reads it. And so I think social media, for all the upsides it has, it also has a lot of downsides, which is why I think we see depression and suicides and all those other things are negative effects of technology and social media. I'm 100% convinced of that a lot of those things are not solely, but those are one of the direct results of that is you're losing socialization, you're losing interpersonal communication skills, and on top of those, you're comparing your lives to other people that you perceive, not that they actually do, but you perceive has a better life than you, and now you're like, my life sucks, my job sucks, look at this person, they're killing it, and I think all those things kind of contribute to depression and the downfall of society.
And I feel like us as society has actually done the opposite of what it was intended for. And what I mean by that is social media started out, if you guys remember, started out amazing. We were sharing, pictures with friends and family, and we genuinely wanted, everyone to see it, and we wanted to see everyone else's. Now it's
show and tell.
It's show and tell, man.
It's a
like
measurement.
I don't get it.
It's insecurity.
I don't get it, man.
It's like illusions based on insecurity. It's like, how can I... And we're all guilty of it in one way or another, because we're these animals. We are these, like, we take ourselves so seriously. We think we're so advanced. But, like, we're one of the only animals that has some straight up fucking weird insecurity issues. And we have a way to share it with everybody. And we want to. And we think that, like, we're looking for approval constantly. And we're getting to a point where it's like, it's trendy. We don't, like... It's hard to
look at the emojis. Right?
Oh,
there's an emoji for
you can have a conversation now with emojis.
But
GIFs.
So there's two things. To that. There's two sides to that. There's two train of thoughts that I have for that. The first part of me says, "Damn, that's dangerous," because what happened to literature? What happened to writing down? But at the same time, I can respect it, because I'm like, well, I remember learning about hieroglyphics, and is goofy. But it's
evolved.
It's a picture that represents a story, but. There's no doubt about it, gentlemen. We are in the times of everything is misinterpreted.
Cody,
and it's getting more misinterpreted.
Cody, is it possible that we are evolving to robots? Like, we are evolving ourselves into... I mean, in a sense. I mean, I'm not saying like internal, that shit, but in the sense of to where eventually, if we keep going down the path that we're going, I feel like human communication face-to-face is gone.
Well...
Like, I really do.
Virtual classrooms. I mean, virtual.
Yeah, we were
now
talking
you don't
about
have
that
to go
before
to the,
the
game.
show.
You can just sit at home by yourself, isolated.
Is that possible? And
So
if that is possible, is it a bad thing?
I want you to think about something that you are. You collect information, right?
Yep.
All of us.
Yep.
You are a group of atoms that studies yourself.
I'm following.
Okay, you are a collection of atoms, and you are studying yourself.
Elaborate a little bit.
Okay, so
essentially, we are computers.
We are atoms.
we are cells. We are computers. This is how I look at it. You wake up every day and you have this memory. And so you keep living this memory. I am so, and you wake up this morning, you were Nick White. Where were you before you woke up? You don't know. You call it a dream. That's how you deal with it.
Oh, man.
You don't know.
This is one of those Friday night conversations, right?
So you woke up this morning.
We're starting it
and you're
early.
like, oh,
Cool.
Nick White.
I'm
and
with
I
it.
am a dog trainer. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father. I am a husband. I am a dog trainer. I am a former Marine. Same thing with you, Joey. You wake up. You are husband, father, great father.
Thank you very much.
Awesome father. You inspire me. Entrepreneur. You run Off Leash K9 Training, in my opinion. You run it. You are, and that's a lot. But you wake up and you have to like remember all these things, and then you do it all day, and then you go back to this stasis that you really don't know. We can call it something, but you don't know. So you are a cell. You are a robot. You are these things that help you identify with something mechanical about your life. You don't know how long you've been on this earth. You don't know. Everybody thinks they do. You don't. It could all be one blink. The thing is to respect the mystery. You don't know what you are. You don't know what you're doing
respect
here,
the moment.
But you have all you know is that you're having these emotions and these memories and these and we've called a lot of things certain things to identify with it. So are we robots? Are we cells? Are we energy? Are we meat popsicles that are just bump into each other and we have an exchange and it's either positive or negative and then it moves on and we keep doing that? I mean, if you look under a microscope, you can see that with and it's like, then you can take a microscope and look at our bodies and see the same thing that's happening on a blue planet called Earth. You just see a bunch of like things moving and interacting with each other, moving away, getting together, bonding.
So let's take that and come back full circle, as Nick likes to do. How does that our evolvement into evolution. Jesus. Into technology and social media and all that stuff. How does that affect us as dog trainers, or does it? Is dog training different now than it was 50 years ago due to technology?
I think I want to say yes. The lizard part of my brain
I'd probably say
wants
yeah.
to say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But communicating with an
But
animal.
that would be a good thing in your opinion, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
And Cody? Sean?
Yes.
But the way we evolved is we have made the dogs to where we have to train them a certain way, because
It's to our standards. It's to our standards.
Yeah.
Like, what's a well-trained
I
dog?
like that. I like that.
What's the dog's job?
Yeah.
What do we need the
some
dog
people
for?
think it's to be a person.
Is that a well-trained human? Well, what's his job?
Yeah.
What's her job?
I like that a lot.
It's all relative.
Or is it?
Irrelative. When you're related to a relative.
All right, it's hot as shit. Let's wrap this up, guys. I want to go around the table, and I want to do things a little different today. I want you to give one piece of advice for everyone out there. If you can give one piece of advice of something you've taken over the years, and keep it short. I have a feeling I know what Nick's is going to be. Actually, I want you to change it.
Oh,
okay.
my
So
main
it can't be don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
I want you guys to think really, really quickly. One piece of advice, if you could give everyone listening on something you've learned over the years, what would that one piece of advice be? This is going to be a motivating show from now on. We need to.
Make social media positive.
You're a very motivational person. There's your plug for the day. And
Second plug.
well, I'm backlogging.
Okay.
I was with him all day yesterday. I'm pretty sure no compliments.
Yeah.
So, we need to take advantage of that. And you need to share that motivation with the listeners out there, because next episode I'm going to talk about how this man changed my life.
Oh, deep.
And obviously, it means a lot to me, but I think it's a good story, and I want you to share that motivation with the world. Anyhow, Shawn, go. One piece of advice for the listeners.
Do more things together in groups. Stop isolating yourself.
Okay.
If you get stressed or frustrated, get out there, get with some people, do some things, walk your dog, play with your dog, pet your dog.
So for those, Sean's mic is a little broken because he dropped it right before the show. For those that didn't hear him, let me repeat him. Let me repeat what he said. He said, "Do things in groups. Stop being alone." Right? If you're alone, right, Shawn? If you're alone, go hang out with somebody. Do something that you enjoy. Don't hide. Cody.
All right.
One piece of advice.
One piece of advice, and as humbly, since I got this platform with you guys, there's listeners. As humbly as I can say this, I feel a little entitled on giving advice in the art of decoying.
Okay.
I want to address the decoy nation, the decoy world. Work decoys, young decoys, old decoys, seasoned decoys. Work on your prey game, please. Work.
For the gram.
Yeah.
I'm recording it.
Work on your prey game. Master prey drive. Don't misinterpret prey drive. Work on that. Understand it. Do it. When you've done it 10 times, do it 10 more times, and then do it 10 more times. And just know I'm out there doing it as much as I possibly can. And if you are following me, if you are influenced by me, I am out. Every day I wake up and I tap into my inner decoy, and I focus on prey drive and building a weapon with that drive, not misinterpreted, moving, challenging. And I encourage you guys to get out there and do that. And I do it because of what I've seen it do with thousands and thousands of reps with so many direct action teams that I work with, where I get reports back of, Cody, what you did with my dog just saved our asses on the battlefield. In legit, no shit, direct action combat, our dogs did something that mirrored what we've done in training with you. And so I just want to say, work on your prey game, because I am, and I'm doing it every day, and I'm trying to become a master of it.
Love
so
it.
you can either be inspired by that and join me, or you can be intimidated.
In a group.
but you're gonna have to. You better get real fast in your suit.
Love
You're
it.
gonna come see me.
Nick, you had enough time?
Yeah, I don't need time. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things, but I would say one of my biggest contributions to success is self-initiative, being a self-starter, not needing someone else to kind of motivate me or anything. So I would say one of the best things, and if you read, any highly successful people, far more successful than me, they're 100% of them is big into reading, 100% of them. So I'm really big into that. Find things to make you better, like financially, like I would recommend to everyone, unfortunately I don't get any money for this, but I'd recommend to everyone, like Tony Robbins' Money Mastery Makeover, whether you get the audio book or the books, like it's such a great resource to get people started that don't know where to start, like financially. Like, how do I get ahead? Like, I did a post today on my personal Facebook page, if you guys saw, about compound interest. I'm like, it's one of the 8th wonders of the world that there's so many people that's uneducated in, and it does really set a lot of people up for success, and you can do it just a little bit at a time. And so just self-education. I would tell everyone, find one area, identify one area in your life that say, I want to improve this area starting this month. And maybe it's financial. Like, I want to reduce my debt, or I want to make more money, or I want to reduce my debt and make more money. Find one area and identify that, and starting today, spend the next 30 days every day. This is what I've done. Spend every day for the next 30 days learning on that area. So if it's finances, go to your books app in your iPhone and type in money or finances, and spend the next week listening to like Dave Ramsey's Money Makeover. And then once you get rid of that, all right, there's 1 week of your 4 weeks gone. Then go on to like Tony Robbins' Money the Master Game. And now that you spend a week listening to that, and I guarantee you that you will know more in the next month about finances, money, how to eliminate debt, how to increase the money that you currently have. You will learn more in the next month than you've literally learned in the last 30, 40, 50 years of your life, if you truly pick that one subject and dedicate yourself every day to learning as much as you can about that subject. And then when February 1st starts, now pick a new subject.
I like that.
Now say, okay, I want to learn about having more confidence, being more self-confident, so I don't have to care what other people think. And then spend the next month every day reading books and audiobooks and going to YouTube and typing in motivational videos, and spend every day doing that. And I guarantee at the end of that month, you'll be so much more confident, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll have less negativity than you did the month before. And then in March, identify another topic. Okay, I want to be better at decoying, so I'm going to watch all of Cody's videos, Bob Salamini's videos, Ted Summers' video. And now I've learned so much, and now I'm going to fly out and work with Cody. I'm going to go out and work with Ted and Bob and Jason Davis and all these people. And at the end of that month, you're going to be a better decoy than you've ever been in your entire life. And then the next month. So literally that's what I do. And that's why I said, a lot of people think I said to be cocky, like, I don't have a New Year's resolution. I try to improve every day. But Joe and the people close to me, Cody knows, it's because it's true. Identify areas in my life that I'd like to be better in, and every day I try to tackle those in some form. And if everyone did that, they would be happier, they would be better off financially, they would be better off spiritually, they would be healthier. Oh, maybe the following month is health. Okay, I want to learn how to start prepping meal plans better. I want to learn how to start doing cardio better, and just do that every month. Identify one topic and just crush that topic for the next month. And at the end of a year, your life will literally be changed if you genuinely just do that. And it doesn't really take any extra time or effort, or on my way here, I was listening to a Tony Robbins audiobook. I'm going to be in the vehicle for 45 minutes anyway driving here, so I might as well make it 45 minutes that's improving me, that's making me better than I was yesterday. And then tomorrow I'll do the same thing, and now I'm better than I was the day before, and I know more. And now I can do posts like I did. And as Joe knows, I was just talking to Joe yesterday about compound interest and debt payoff and mortgages, and he's like, Jesus, you're such an adult. He's like, I feel like I'm talking to my dad when I talk to you. Literally, that's what he said.
Which is impressive for a 35-year-old. I mean, it is.
So yeah, that would be my small piece of advice to everyone.
Very financially mature.
And your life will change in the next year if you truly do that and stick to it. So that's my advice for you guys in the new year.
Love it. All right, so mine.
Joey.
Mine is very simple. I've recently been reminded how how truly short life really is, and that portion is terrible. With that being said, cherish the ones that really mean a lot to you. Don't take those small moments for granted. Those moments are what define you as a person and define them as a person. Don't let something happen and having regrets is where I'm trying to get at. So love those closest to you and love them hard. Until next time, guys, it has been a pleasure as always. And Nick, any final words?
Nope, that's it.
I want to thank Cody and Shawn for joining us in studio today.
Thank you,
and
guys.
we will